Namaskar, I am Ashok Kumar Gupta, Training Associate Chemistry at ZIT Bhubaneswar. Today, I will present before you the video lesson of Unit 1 Solid State of Chemistry Class 12. This video lesson will cover the general characteristics of solid state and will also cover the amorphous and crystalline solid. So, let us start our discussion. Dear students, at the end of this video lesson, you will be able to learn the following things. Number one, you will be able to describe the general characteristics of solid state. You will be able to distinguish between amorphous and crystalline solids. Before we start our discussion, kindly make this table in your notebook. The first column will be property, second column crystalline solids, and third column amorphous solids. These are the properties of the crystalline. These properties of crystalline and amorphous solids will discuss during this video. You are supposed to note down, so at the end you will be able to see what is the difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solids. We are mostly surrounded by solids and we use them more often than liquids and gases. For different applications, we need solids with widely different properties. These properties depend upon the nature of constituent particles and the binding forces operating between them. Therefore, study of structure of solid is important. The correlation between structure and properties helps in discovering the new solid materials with desired properties like high temperature, superconductors, magnetic materials, biodegradable polymers for packaging, biocompliant solids for surgical implants, etc. In nature, we come across rocky mountains, hills, icy glaciers, and sandy beaches. These all are solid. Rivers, lake, seas, and oceans, which are all liquid. The atmosphere is made up of gases. However, solids are more common than liquids or gases. In the periodic table, there are 11 gases, 2 are liquids, and rest of the elements are solids. Hence, it is very important to learn about the structure and properties of solids. The properties of solids mainly depend on the nature of the constituent particles and the binding force acting between these constituent particles. The most important characteristic properties of gases and liquid is fluidity. Fluidity means that gases and liquids have the ability to flow and are called fluids, whereas solids do not possess fluidity. Instead, they possess rigidity. Why do liquid and gases possess fluidity, whereas solids possess rigidity? The reasons for fluidity of liquid and gases is due to the movement of constituent particles. In gaseous state and liquid state, the constituent particles are free to move about, whereas in solid state, the constituent particles have fixed position and can only oscillate about their mean position, and hence they possess definite shape and volume, which is nothing but rigidity. We always classify the matter into 3 categories such as solids, liquids, and gases. But whether a substance will exist as a solid or a liquid or a gas will depend on the net effect of 2 main opposing factors: interparticle attractive forces and thermal energy. Let us look into the intermolecular attractive forces. Interparticle attractive forces are the forces that always tend to bring the constituent particles such as atoms, molecules, or ions closer to each other. What is thermal energy? Thermal energy is the energy possessed by the constituent particles due to temperature. This thermal energy makes the constituent particles move freely and it is directly proportional to temperature. Due to this, as temperature increases, thermal energy also increases, and hence the movement of constituent particles also increases. If interparticle attraction are very weak and the thermal energy effects are predominant, then the substance will be a gaseous state. If the interparticle attractive forces are slightly more than the effects of thermal energy, then the substances will exist as liquid. At low temperature, the thermal energy is low and intermolecular forces are so strong that the particles come closer and cling to one another, and hence they occupy fixed position but can only oscillate about their mean positions. Substance here will be in the solid state. Classification of solids. If we look at diamond and glass, we can see that both are solids. But if we look at them at microscopic level, we can see that there is a difference in arrangement of constituent particles. In diamond, the particles are arranged in order, whereas in glass, they are completely disorganized. Based on the order of arrangements of constituent particles, the solids are mainly classified into two types: crystalline solid and amorphous solids. Crystalline solids. In a crystalline solid, the constituent particles such as atoms or ions or molecules are regularly arranged in a definite pattern for a long range. Here, the arrangement is so regular that by just knowing the arrangement of any one site, we can very well predict the arrangement of the other site. In other words, there is a regular pattern of arrangement of particles which repeats itself periodically over the entire crystal. The examples of crystalline solids are sodium chloride, diamond, sodium iodide, gold, quartz, etc. Amorphous solids. The arrangement of particles in amorphous solid is not in an orderly fashion. Sometimes in amorphous solids we can find few tiny orderly arrangement in between non-orderly structure. Since they are very small in number, they cannot influence overall structure. Due to this, the overall arrangement of the particles in the amorphous solids is distorted. The examples for amorphous solids are glass, rubber and plastic, etc. If you notice carefully the glass window of very old historical windows, you will observe that the glass panes are thicker at the bottom as compared to the top of the window. This is because as the time progressed, some of the molecules on the top of the glass flowed down due to gravity and accumulated in the bottom, making it thicker. Please note that this process is very slow and takes hundreds of years. Due to this ability of the amorphous solids to flow like liquids, amorphous solids are also called supercooled liquids or pseudo-solids. Let us look at the differences between the crystalline and amorphous solids. The first difference is melting point. In crystalline solids, the arrangement of particles in every portion is same. Due to this, every portion of crystalline solid melt at same temperature. Therefore, crystalline solids have a sharp melting point, whereas in amorphous solids, every portion of amorphous solid is different from its neighbor. Due to this, every portion will melt at a different temperature. Therefore, amorphous solids melt over a wide range of temperature. The second difference is in anisotropy. Crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature. It means that physical properties are not same in all directions. If we consider this particular direction, the particles are all blue. If we consider this direction, we have alternate arrangement of red and blue. Now, if we consider this direction, the arrangement is again alternate, but the distance between them is more. Due to the differences in arrangement of particles in different directions, physical properties such as electrical resistance, refractive index, thermal expansion, etc. have different values when we measure in different directions. Whereas amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. It means that various physical properties are same in all directions. If we consider any direction, the arrangement is completely irregular. Due to this, the physical properties like electrical resistance, refractive index, thermal expansion have negligible variation in different directions. Cleavage with a knife. Cleavage with a knife. When we cut crystalline solid with a sharp knife, we get a clean cleavage and smooth new surfaces. Whereas when we cut an amorphous solid with a knife, we get irregular surfaces. Let us recapitulate. These are the things you have studied. They have definite mass, volume and shape, solid shape. The intermolecular distance are short in case of solid. The intermolecular forces are strong in case of solids. Their constituent particles, the constituent particles may be atoms, molecules or ions. These particles have fixed positions and can only oscillate about their mean positions. Okay, and crystalline solids are incompressible and rigid. So these are the characteristic properties. Number one, have definite mass. Number two, have intermolecular distance very short. Number three, intermolecular forces are strong. Number four, the constituent particles have fixed position and can only oscillate about their mean positions. And number five, they are incompressible and rigid. Now, you will be able to complete this table. I think you might have written the characteristic properties of crystalline solid and amorphous solids under the heads of these properties: shape, melting point, cleavage property, heat of fusion, anisotropy, nature, and order of arrangement of constituent particles. Now is the time to have some quiz. Which of the following conditions favor the existence of substances in the solid state? Which favors the existence of substance in solid state? High temperature, low temperature, high thermal energy, weak cohesive force. Which favors? Low temperature. Yes, low temperature favors existence of substance in solid state. Next quiz question. Which of the following is not a characteristic of crystalline solid? Think over it. Do crystalline solids have definite and characteristic heat of fusion? Yes, they have. Yes, they have characteristic heat of fusion. Are they isotropic? No, they are anisotropic. Crystalline solids are anisotropic. Do crystalline solids have regular, periodically repeated pattern of arrangement of constituent particles in the crystal? Yes, they have. Yes. Are crystalline solids a true solid? Yes, crystalline solids are true solid. Now, which one will be the answer then? This is the answer. Answer is that the crystalline solids are not isotropic. They are anisotropic. Question number 3. Which of the following is an amorphous solid? Graphite, chrome alum, silicon carbide, quartz. Chrome alum is crystalline. Silicon carbide is, this is crystalline. Chrome alum is crystalline. Silicon carbide is also crystalline, and quartz is also crystalline. This is crystalline. So this is amorphous. Graphite is amorphous. Okay. Question number 4. Which of the following is true about the value of refractive index in quartz glass? Same in all directions. You know that quartz glass is crystalline. This is crystalline. And crystalline solids are anisotropic. Therefore, refractive index will not be same in all the anisotropic. Therefore, same in all directions. No. Different in different directions. Yes. Cannot be measured. No. Always 0. No. Okay. Now, these are the questions you have to do as homework. These are questions given in your NCERT book. The question number 1 is, why are solids rigid? Question number 2 is, why do solids have a definite volume? Question number 3, classify the following as amorphous or crystalline solids: polyurethane, naphthalene, benzoic acid, Teflon, potassium nitrate, cellophane, polyvinyl chloride, fiberglass, copper. Next, question number 4 is, why is glass considered a supercooled liquid? This is very important question. Question number 5 is, refractive index of a solid is observed to have the same value along all directions. Comment on the nature of this solid. Would it show cleavage properly? Very interesting question. Okay, let us look at question number 1. Why are solids rigid? What will be the answer? Look, answer key: in solid state, the constituent particles have fixed position. Constituent particles have fixed positions and can only oscillate about their mean position, and hence they possess kya? Definite shape, volume, and this is nothing but rigidity. Same is the reason for the question number 2. Why do solids have a definite volume? So these two questions have same answer. These two questions have same answer, same reason. We have to classify polyurethane, naphthalene, benzoic acid, and okay, after classification we come polyurethane, Teflon, cellophane, PVC, this is a polymer, and fiberglass. These are amorphous. And naphthalene, benzoic acid, and potassium nitrate, copper, these are crystalline. Like liquids, amorphous solids have a tendency to flow, though this tendency to flow is very slow. Therefore, they are called pseudo-solids or supercooled liquids. In question number 5, we see that refractive index of a solid is observed to have the same value along all directions. This is important. Along all directions it is same. That means the substance is isotropic. That means it is amorphous, and therefore if it is amorphous, therefore it will not show clean cleavage property, right? Will get a rough cleavage property, not a clean cleavage property, rough cleavage property. Thank you very much for your interest for learning. Feel free to contact me. My WhatsApp number is 9038396543. and email ID is ashokgupta62 @gmail.com. Thank you and happy learning.